National Electrical Code Article 410.10 addresses the installation of luminaires, specifically concerning voltage limitations based on their proximity to the ground or floor. This section of the code is crucial for ensuring electrical safety and preventing potential hazards associated with high-voltage lighting in accessible locations. The core requirement of Article 410.10 is that luminaires installed within 8 feet, which is approximately 2.4 meters, of the ground or floor shall not operate at more than 150 volts between conductors. This limitation is in place to minimize the risk of electric shock to individuals who may come into contact with the luminaire or its components. The rationale behind this voltage restriction is based on the understanding that luminaires installed at lower heights are more likely to be touched or accessed by people, including children, maintenance personnel, or passers-by. By limiting the voltage to 150 volts or less, the potential for dangerous or even fatal electric shock is significantly reduced. This is particularly important in areas where the public has unrestricted access to the luminaires, such as parks, pedestrian walkways, or building entrances. The term between conductors in the context of Article 410.10 refers to the voltage difference measured between any two current-carrying conductors within the electrical circuit that supplies power to the luminaire. This is distinct from the voltage measured between a single conductor and ground, which is typically lower. The 150-volt limitation applies specifically to the conductor-to-conductor voltage, ensuring that the maximum potential difference within the circuit remains within safe limits. It is important to note that Article 410.10 applies specifically to luminaires, which are defined as complete lighting units consisting of a lamp or lamps together with the parts designed to distribute the light, to position and protect the lamps, and to connect the lamps to the power supply. This definition encompasses a wide range of lighting fixtures, including incandescent, fluorescent, light-emitting diode, and high-intensity discharge luminaires. The voltage limitation applies regardless of the type of lamp or lighting technology used. There are several exceptions and clarifications related to Article 410.10 that are important to consider when applying the code. Firstly, the voltage limitation does not apply to luminaires that are specifically designed and installed to be inaccessible to unqualified persons. For example, a luminaire that is mounted on a pole at a height greater than 8 feet, or that is enclosed within a protective cage or barrier, may be operated at voltages exceeding 150 volts. Secondly, the voltage limitation does not apply to certain types of specialized lighting equipment, such as theatrical lighting or industrial lighting systems, where higher voltages are necessary for the operation of the equipment. However, these specialized applications typically require additional safety measures and precautions to protect personnel from electrical hazards. Thirdly, the voltage limitation does not apply to low-voltage lighting systems that operate at voltages of 30 volts or less. These low-voltage systems are considered to be inherently safe and do not pose a significant risk of electric shock. It is important to consult the specific requirements of the National Electrical Code for the installation of low-voltage lighting systems. In addition to the voltage limitation, Article 410.10 also requires that luminaires installed within 8 feet of the ground or floor be protected from physical damage. This protection may be achieved through the use of durable luminaires guards or other protective measures. The purpose of this requirement is to prevent damage to the luminaire that could expose live electrical parts and create a shock hazard. The selection of luminaires for use in locations where Article 410.10 applies requires careful consideration of several factors. Firstly, the luminaire must be rated for the voltage of the electrical circuit to which it will be connected. Secondly, the luminaire must be suitable for the environmental conditions in which it will be installed, such as wet or damp locations. Thirdly, the luminaire must be designed to provide adequate illumination for the intended purpose, while also complying with the voltage limitation of Article 410.10a. The installation of luminaires in compliance with Article 410.10 requires adherence to several important electrical safety practices. Firstly, all electrical work must be performed by qualified and licensed electricians who are familiar with the requirements of the National Electrical Code. Secondly, all electrical circuits must be properly grounded to provide a path for fault current in the event of an electrical fault. Thirdly, all electrical connections must be made in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions and using approved wiring methods and materials. Fourthly, all luminaires must be securely mounted to prevent them from falling or becoming dislodged. Fifthly, all wiring must be protected from physical damage and installed in accordance with the requirements of the National Electrical Code. The enforcement of Article 410.10 is typically the responsibility of local electrical inspectors who are authorized to inspect electrical installations and ensure compliance with the National Electrical Code. Electrical inspectors may conduct inspections of new construction, renovations, and existing buildings to verify that luminaires are installed in accordance with the code. Violations of Article 410.10 may result in fines, penalties, or other enforcement actions. In conclusion, National Electrical Code Article 410.10 is an important provision for ensuring electrical safety in locations where luminaires are installed within 8 feet of the ground or floor. By limiting the voltage to 150 volts between conductors, this code requirement helps to minimize the risk of electric shock and protect the public from electrical hazard. Compliance with Article 410.10 requires careful selection, installation, and maintenance of luminaires, as well as adherence to all applicable electrical safety practices. In the specific scenario of a flagpole light mounted at the base of the pole and powered by a 277-volt circuit, it is not compliant with NEC Article 410.10a. Because the luminaire is installed within 8 feet of the ground, the voltage is limited to 150 volts between conductors. The 277-volt circuit exceeds this limitation, making the installation unsafe and in violation of the National Electrical Code. To rectify this situation and ensure compliance with the NEC, several options can be considered. Firstly, the luminaire can be replaced with one that operates at a voltage of 150 volts or less. This may involve using a different type of lamp or lighting technology, or using a step-down transformer to reduce the voltage of the 277-volt circuit. Secondly, the luminaire can be relocated to a height greater than 8 feet above the ground. This would remove the luminaire from the scope of Article 410.10 and allow it to be operated at 277 volts. However, this option may not be feasible depending on the design and layout of the flagpole. Thirdly, a physical barrier or enclosure can be installed around the luminaire to prevent access by unqualified persons. This would effectively make the luminaire inaccessible and allow it to be operated at 277 volts. However, the barrier or enclosure must be designed to withstand physical damage and prevent unauthorized access. Fourthly, the 277-volt circuit can be replaced with a 120-volt circuit. This would require running new wiring from the electrical panel to the flagpole location. This would allow for the use of a standard 120-volt luminaire that complies with Article 410.10a. It is important to consult with a qualified and licensed electrician to determine the best solution for complying with Article 410.10 in this specific situation. The electrician can assess the existing electrical system, evaluate the available options, and recommend a solution that is both safe and compliant with the National Electrical Code. In addition to the voltage limitation, it is also important to ensure that the luminaire is properly grounded and protected from physical damage. The grounding conductor must be sized according to the requirements of the National Electrical Code, and the luminaire must be securely mounted to prevent it from falling or becoming dislodged. The wiring to the luminaire must be protected from physical damage by installing it in conduit or other approved raceway. Furthermore, the luminaire must be suitable for the environmental conditions in which it will be installed. If the luminaire is exposed to the weather, it must be rated for wet locations and protected from moisture and corrosion. If the luminaire is installed in a high-traffic area, it must be protected from physical damage by installing a guard or other protective device. By addressing these issues and ensuring compliance with all applicable requirements of the National Electrical Code, the safety and reliability of the flagpole lighting system can be significantly improved. This will help to protect the public from electrical hazards and ensure that the lighting system operates properly for many years to come. Moreover, understanding the rationale and application of NEC Article 410.10 is essential for all electrical professionals, including electricians, contractors, and inspectors. This knowledge enables them to design, install, and inspect electrical systems in a safe and compliant manner, protecting the public from electrical hazards and ensuring the proper functioning of electrical equipment.